Are you thinking about maybe moving to the Hillsborough area? Today we're going to go over the pros and cons of the Hillsborough, North Carolina area, and we hope that you'll stick around.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. I'm Zach. This is my beautiful wife, Cindy. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button in the corner. Also hit the bell to be notified of every time we release a new video, which is weekly. So that number on the screen, that is our number. So why do we put it there? We are local real estate brokers in the area, which means as much as we love to make these videos for you, we like to help you with your real estate needs even more. So you can call that number, you can text that number. We'd be happy to answer any real estate related questions you may have. Maybe you're moving into the area, considering the area, maybe you even live here and you're thinking about moving to a different spot in the triangle. We would love to connect with you. So we are the ones that answer those phone calls, answer those text messages. It's not some automated system. It is us. So reach out if you have any questions. With that being said, today we're diving into the pros and cons of Hillsborough, North Carolina. I've been pumped about this video. I love Hillsborough. It's probably my favorite spot in all of the triangle. So with that being said, let's dig in. All right, pro number one of Hillsborough is the location. So it is in the perfect spot between Durham and Chapel Hill. So if you look at a map, Hillsborough is going to be northwest of Durham and pretty much straight north above Chapel Hill. So when it comes to getting to either one of those locations in the triangle, you're about 15 to 20 minutes from Durham. You're about 15 to 20 minutes from Chapel Hill as well. So if those are the two cities that you will be commuting to the most, Hillsborough is an incredible location to get in between of them. If you're going to Raleigh, it's going to be a little bit further from Raleigh, so that might not be as ideal. But from Durham and Chapel Hill, Hillsborough is in the perfect location.
Yeah, and even if you are going to Raleigh, one really cool thing about Hillsborough that some of the other surrounding towns don't have is that it has access to both interstates in the state. So you have access to I-85 and I-40.
Yep.
So you have, both directions, 85 heading like north and south, and then 40 heading east and west. Yeah. And so you can hop onto 40 in Hillsborough and get to Raleigh pretty quickly, or even like Burlington or Greensboro as well if you want to go even further west. So
yeah, that's true.
That's one nice thing about it.
Yeah, it's in the perfect spot. So
number two on our pros list of Hillsborough is that it's kind of a small town. Mm-hmm. So if you are moving from somewhere and you don't want to be in that more like urban life like Raleigh and Durham might offer, if you want something a little more quaint and small, Hillsborough is a great place to be. Yeah. When you're downtown, kind of feels like a Hallmark Christmas movie, honestly. It's just like a very cute I
don't watch those, by the way.
He does.
I don't.
He does.
I don't.
So when you're downtown, it's just cute and quaint. There's no like high rises or anything like that. It's just kind of just looks like a basic historic downtown, but it's really well kept and preserved through the years. It's just beautiful down there, so I really like that. Also, perks of the smaller town, there's still good public schools in the area. There's like two main high schools. So it's a smaller feel, so you kind of feel like you get to know people in town a little bit better. Yeah. That might be a bad thing for some people, but I know some people really like that.
Yeah, and with the downtown, there's some really nice local restaurants you can find downtown just on the main strip. There's local shops, local coffee shops down there. You also have a place called Weaver Street grocery store, or Weaver Street Market is what it is. It's a local co-op here. It kind of feels like a local Whole Foods. It's really nice. It kind of anchors the downtown in a way, at least part of it. But it's a really cool spot downtown that gives you access to some like local food in the area that comes in from the local farms. So yeah,
it's a nice little grocery store, and they have a hot bar there.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the same size as a Whole Foods.
Yeah,
maybe a little smaller.
It's a small Whole Foods.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, and it's not only local stuff there. They have regular food too. So it's a cool place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, number 3 on the list is outdoor space, and honestly, this is my favorite part of Hillsborough. They just crush it when it comes to outdoor space, and honestly, it's what we love about Hillsborough.
Yeah.
So one of the great spots, actually right behind us, is a place called Airmount. So it's a home that was built in the early 1800s. I think it used to be part of like a 500-acre estate. I'm not sure how many acres are part of it now. But this place is really special to Cindi and I. We were engaged here. We pretty much take our family photos here every single year.
Yeah.
But it's free. It's free to the public. You can come out here. You can walk around. They have walking trails. Back behind us is the river, so you can walk along the river on some of the trails. You can bring your dogs out here. You can bring your kids out here. Let them run around free.
It's a huge field behind the house too. Just like giant, like looks like Sound of Music.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it does. Like it's just beautiful, and it's free, and it's just one part of, this large, I guess, amount of open space that Hillsborough has. Hillsborough also has great parks. One that we take our kids to, and this isn't the only park here, but one that we take our kids to a lot is called Gold Park. It's really nice. It's got great play equipment. It's just a great park, and it's right off the Riverwalk, which I'll let you talk about.
Yeah, so the Riverwalk, that's like my favorite thing about Hillsborough, I think. It was like about 10 years ago or so, maybe a little more. They started construction on the Riverwalk, which is a paved walking trail. The whole thing is paved, with the exception of I'll go over one part that's not, but the whole thing is paved, and there's like bridges that go over the river. Yeah. It's just a nice, easy, relaxing walking trail. Runs all next to the River. Yep. Through Hillsborough, so it's like 2 miles or so of trails. You can go in a few different directions, but there's different like outposts on the trail too, which is really, really neat. Like we were talking about Weaver Street Market earlier. Yep. You can park near the Weaver Street Market. There's a free deck there to get on the Riverwalk Trail. So it's a fun spot because you can, after you're done walking, or before you start, you could go get they have bakery in there and like fun, unique bottled drinks and things like that. So it's always fun to kind of treat yourself to something there.
Clothes.
Treat yourself.
Fragrances.
Treat yourself.
Massages.
Treat yourself.
Mimosas.
Treat yourself.
Fine leather goods.
Treat yourself.
It's the best day of the year.
The best day of the year!
If you go on a Saturday, it's mostly like runners, people biking, families. It's always cute because, there's little kids like learning how to ride their bikes out there and stuff. And I really appreciate that it's paved. Having kids in the last couple years, like it's nice to find something paved for our stroller. So we just love the Riverwalk trail.
Yeah, and it's 2 miles in length. So there's just a great spot. Occoneechee.
Yeah, so there's there's a old speedway that's out there, Occoneechee Speedway, and then Occoneechee Mountain, which is just a random mountain in Hillsborough, which is pretty cool. So if you don't want to have to drive all the way to the mountains, but you like hiking, like it's a pretty good hike out there. That's the part that's kind of, when you get near there, it starts to be not paved because there's like an old speedway that was back there where they did like racing, like professional racing, and so that's like dirt.
I think Richard Petty, I don't know if this, I've never verified this. I've actually never been out there. But if you're a NASCAR fan, you probably heard of Richard Petty. Maybe if you're not a NASCAR fan, you might know who Richard Petty is. But I've heard he won a race there. I don't know if it's true. I haven't verified. That's pretty legit.
I like to believe that it's true for sure. Yeah, it was supposed to be like the speedway in North Carolina, but ended up kind of getting relocated to Charlotte. I don't really know why, to be honest, but yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's still there. There's like some old cars that are out there, and that's the part that's like the only section that's not paved. But it's still like a dirt trail, so it's not too hard to take anything back there. But yeah, overall, Riverwalk is like the best part of Hillsborough, in my opinion. Yeah.
The last thing we'll talk about is some of the local farms in the area that you can go to. There's a few of them. We spend most of our time at Eno River Farm. They have really good ice cream. We actually went so much. I don't know if you have an iPhone, your iPhone might do this too, but it'll remind you, like if you go somewhere quite often, it'll remind you at that time that you normally go to that place that it's time for you to go there. So I would get reminders on my phone telling me to go to Eno River Farm, which was solely to eat ice cream. So
a little embarrassing.
Yeah, a little embarrassing, but
it's
support
great. The local farms, you know.
Yeah, but in terms of just you can bring your kids out to a lot of these farms in the area, and they can run around. Eno River has berry picking that they do, so you can pick strawberries, blueberries when they're in season. blackberries. Yeah, so it's just there's a ton of great options here when it comes to just outdoor space.
Yeah, for sure. And River Farm, it's great. What makes it kind of our favorite, I would say, is how much space they have, like Zach mentioned, because there's like a lot of grassy areas, so it's nice with toddlers to have that room to kind of run around. And then on Wednesday nights in the summer, they do like food truck rodeos.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
It's a fun community spot. There's other great farms. One a little further up from River is Broken Spoke Farm. They also have ice cream there.
They do.
And it's really cute because they just do like an honor system for everything. So
yeah, you just Venmo the money, or you put cash in the box.
Yeah, and you just grab your ice cream out of like
really
a freezer. So it's really a cute concept.
Yeah.
They have some animals out there too. It's not as like sprawling as River Farm. So as far as like grassy area, they don't have as much of that necessarily, but it's still a really cool place. And they sell a lot of produce that they grow organically and stuff. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, both great places. Number 4 on our list is schools. I hit on it just a little bit earlier that, maybe it's a smaller district, so they have a few less schools, but that doesn't mean they're not good. Orange County schools are really good for the area. Personally, I actually went to Orange High School, a long time ago, and it was a great experience for me. So yeah, it's a great little school district here. There's also some good charter schools, so we'll show you kind of some of those ratings and stuff as well, but good school districts. Feels safe, feels clean, great place for families.
Yeah, if schools are high on the priority list, Orange County is always a really competitive place when it comes to getting in, so that your kids can go in Orange County schools. So.
Yeah.
All right, the last pro on the list is great neighborhoods. There's quite a few great neighborhoods in Hillsborough. We're only going to talk about 2 of them. We'll do a separate video on the top neighborhoods in Hillsborough at another time. But the 2 we're going to talk about Fox Hill Farm, which is a beautiful neighborhood, and Churton Grove. So.
Yeah. So Fox Hill Farm, like Zach said, absolutely gorgeous neighborhood.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just stunning. We like to just drive through it and look at some of the homes in there. Kind of a big range of homes. It's like a custom home community. So I mean, you have the nicest of nice houses, and then you have kind of a more standard, I wouldn't say average. I think everything's above average in Fox Hill Farm, but something we really like about it is it just feels like there's a lot of mature trees around. It's not just like a clear-cut, cookie-cutter neighborhood, which is something I personally appreciate. So there's a lot of trees and woods that are still around. Most of the homes have at least like an acre or so of land. Some have 5 or more acres. Some people have horses in there.
Some of the homes are on like open fields, but it's just this beautiful like clean cut open field. Like, it's just pretty.
Yeah, some of the ones that have the open fields because they might have like a barn and horses. So depending on what section of the neighborhood you're in, people might actually have animals. There's like riding trails, I think, that go through. So that's really nice. Pricier, which you can probably imagine based on our description. But Hillsborough in general is a little pricier than like Durham. Not quite as high as Chapel Hill, but it is pricier. But Fox Hill Farm is probably one of the most expensive neighborhoods in the area as far as like big neighborhoods go. On the lower end, you might have something in the 500s, but then it can go up to $1.5 million depending on the home that's in the neighborhood. But really gorgeous out there. Second neighborhood was Churton Grove. Churton Grove's a little more of like a standard neighborhood. The homes are a decent size in there. They've got like a Food Lion, like a little shopping center right next to it, so that's convenient for people. One of my favorite Italian restaurants in the area is called Vinny's, and that's right there. So kind of convenient to everything living in Churton Grove. It's a pretty big community, so it's popular for a lot of people to be able to have like a pool in the neighborhood and stuff like that, be with other families. Prices in there are more close to like maybe in the 400s to 600s depending on the house. There's some townhomes in there where you can get in the 3s. So that's kind of general pricing. Yeah,
so those are 2 of the neighborhoods. Like I said, we'll do a separate video on not all the neighborhoods, but our favorite neighborhoods in Hillsborough. We'll do a separate video on that at another time. But those are 2 great ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Those were all the pros. Now we're going to get into 2 cons. Every place has a con, even if it's as great as Hillsborough is. So con number 1 for Hillsborough is it's kind of short when it comes to like your big box chain type stores. So there's a Walmart here. There's no Target, and that, I mean, that's just one example. But as far as like getting to some of your bigger box chain places, you're going to have to drive probably closer to Durham or closer into Chapel Hill to get to them. Flip side of that is it's only 15-20 minute drive, you know, so it's not very far. If you want to be, you know, right down the road from, you know, a whatever box chain store you want to be close to, Hillsborough might not be the place, but it's a con. It's a very small con.
For some people it's a pro, because some people like the more local. Yeah, just not even just box chain, just kind of short on commercial stuff in general, I would say. Yeah, so I mean, you do have grocery stores here and a few restaurants, I'm not saying that, but it's definitely kind of slim pickings when you compare it to somewhere as big as like Durham or Raleigh. So you'll probably find yourself driving to Durham quite frequently if you live in Hillsborough.
Yeah. And then the second con is the small town kind of rural feel that Hillsborough has. That might be a pro to you. Honestly, it's a pro to me. I love it. But if you want like downtown city life, Hillsborough is not for you. You should probably focus more on Durham or Raleigh if that's what you're looking for. If you want that small town feel, Hillsborough's got it. So we included that in the con list because that's not what everybody looks for. You know, some people want to be right downtown, right in the action. And so if that's what you're looking for, that's a con. That's a con for Hillsborough.
For sure.
So, but all in all, Hillsborough is incredible. The history here is really cool. Fun fact: this used to be, for like a very short period of time, it was the state capital of North Carolina when they moved it from New Bern here because of the Revolutionary War. So it's just a really cool town. The history goes all the way back into the colonial times. It's just, I love it here. It's a great spot. So thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. Like I said, I'm Zach. This is my beautiful wife, Cindi. If you have not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button in the corner. Hit the bell to be notified of every time we release new videos, which is weekly. Most of the time it's going to be on Thursday unless something goes wrong, and that does happen. That number on the screen, that is our number. So we answer those phone calls, we answer those text messages. If you have any questions, real estate related about the area, hit us up. We'd love to chat with you. We're the ones that answer those calls, texts. It's not automated. It's not someone else. We're not going to source your data out or anything like that. It is us. Hit us up if you got any questions. But thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.